guys, as you know, I'm Sarah Bargen, and I'm actually here in Canada talking with my friend Anna Kunnecke.
Hi.
And what we talk about and teach about, there's a lot of overlap. Obviously, we here in this Facebook group talk a lot about money and happiness, and Anna teaches about a lot of similar stuff. And so I wanted to do a super short video where we talked about how to find happiness in times of struggle.
Like the zombie apocalypse?
Yes. Yeah, you know, I mean, like right now, things politically in America are pretty stressful. And it can feel hard to find happiness in situations like this. And sometimes it can even feel like silly or frivolous to, you know, attempt to maintain our self-care and our mental and emotional well-being when, you know, refugees are being locked out of the country and people are being rounded up. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So two things, I have two thoughts about that, and they're sort of contradictory, but hear me out. So one is that it is not wrong to find joy or find happiness even in times of struggle, or to want that for yourself. There is nothing wrong with still wanting to enjoy your daily life while fighting the good fight. It is simultaneously possible to go to protests and love your country enough to want to make it better. You can simultaneously be like pumped about the Grammys and calling your senator. Like there's a Venn diagram there. you can be both. And I think it's also like you don't have to save your happiness. You don't have to like earn it. You deserve to experience happiness every day, regardless of what's going on in your personal life, in your professional life, in your political sphere. And having said that, I know a lot of us, I know a lot of my friends, myself included, it's been a really, really rough month. And so sometimes I think in situations like this, or like if you're going through a divorce, if you got laid off, there are going to be times in our life where happiness looks different. And sometimes there's going to be a time in all of our lives where happiness is not like bubbling up joy every single day. It's contentment. It is laughing really hard for 5 minutes and then going back to life. So I want, if you find yourself in that situation, take the pressure off yourself to maybe be expecting yourself to feel exactly the same way now as you did, you know, the day after Obama was elected. But Anna, what about you? What do you think are some things that we can do to experience happiness regardless of the other things going on in our lives?
I love that, because I actually think that when we continue to take care of ourselves and we continue to not just let ourselves be happy, but deliberately like nurture a sense of joy inside of ourselves, I think we're actually way fiercer.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
like we don't want an army of like exhausted, bedraggled people who are just like, I'm in part of the resistance, you know, like I talk about fueling the resistance, and one of the important ways that we can do that is with these little things that still bring us joy. Not so that we can become like complacent and apathetic and check out, so that we can be like fierce, lit up warriors who are out there to like do some big, are we allowed to swear in this?
Yes.
Some big ass shit. So actually my first tip might seem kind of frivolous or silly, but it's about how you dress. So in my Queen Suite program, we talk a lot about what you wear, and that your clothes are like this language that are always telling your secrets to the world. So you want to dress deliberately because you want to send a deliberate message to the world and also to yourself. So my clients again and again have found that when they dress like a fierce, badass version of themselves, they are a little bit fiercer. They stand a little bit taller. They speak a little bit more clearly. They command a little bit more respect from the world around them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And so sometimes we want to dress for fierceness, and sometimes we want to dress for comfort. Like today, I am dressed for comfort. This is my favorite soft, silky sweater, but it's still got a little like edge to it. It's a little sassy. It just makes me feel like the best, strongest version of myself. So I think clothes in times like this actually are not frivolous at all. They're really important. And then the other thing is, one of the things I know that many of my clients have been struggling with is this sense of futility. Like, oh my God, but I did all the things. I made the calls and I donated to the ACLU. I've got my recurring thing set up. Right? They're like, I did it, and it's still a total shit show. And so it can really start to feel like everything is pointless. So I think one of the biggest ways that we can combat that is to find a little corner of the world that we know we can make better. So it might be as simple as like, one of my friends runs the school garden. Like that is so important that she keeps doing that.
Yeah.
You know, I keep doing my work with my clients. You keep parenting your kids. You keep showing up at that volunteer thing. You keep going to book club. Wherever you can make a tangible, even if it's a tiny difference in the world, we gotta amp that up. That stuff is actually more important than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And something that we've talked about, and I think I've posted about it, you guys, there's a psychological phenomenon called learned helplessness. And it occurs a lot in victims of trauma, but it occurs with anyone who consistently tells themselves, I'm powerless or I don't know what to do. And when you continue to say that to yourself, it actually has been shown to trigger depression. So a lot of the stuff that I've been doing, I call my senators every day, even though I live in a liberal state and my senators are doing exactly what I want them to do. Half of the reason I call my senators is because it makes me feel better. Like, yes, it's the right thing to do politically, it's important to be engaged, but it makes me feel better. It makes me feel happy, it makes me feel engaged. So, you know, honestly, it's self-serving, but it totally works and it makes me feel happier. So I think that's something to think about too. It's the right thing to stay engaged, and it's also self-serving because it makes you feel better.
It's a pretty virtuous cycle you've got going on there.
So Anna's stuff is amazing. If you guys like my stuff, you would love her stuff. And she actually has a phenomenal podcast series.
It's a free interview series.
Yes. So tell us about that.
Okay, so this is actually why I started this, because my little corner of the world is mostly online. So I'm doing a free interview series. It's called How to Be on the Right Side of History Even Though You're Ridiculously Busy.
Yes.
And basically I've interviewed some of my favorite friends and mentors and my teachers. Sarah's done an amazing interview for this series, and we're talking about all the different ways that you can make the world a better place, even if you've just had a baby or you work in corporate or you have to be careful what you say online. Like, it doesn't matter. There's something you can do. And so we're talking about this from all different angles.
And where can they sign up for that?
They can go to declaredominion.com, which is my website, and you'll see a place to sign up.
And I will put a link in the comments, guys. Thank you so much for talking with us, Anna.
Oh, this was so much fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, and I will see you in the Facebook group. Bye.
Bye.
I always, whenever I'm doing a photo, I angle and then I suck in my, so like this.
It totally changes it.
Yeah, I know, you're just sucking it in.
What the hell? We should do a video about this. This shit's gonna go viral.
This is how you make it.
I hope you're recording this right now.
That'll be the outtakes.